Hello.
Hey, Kevin.
And begin.
Kevin McCarthy from Washington, D.C. Chase, real quick, I know you're from Annapolis.
Uptown, what's going on?
Shout out to the area here. Like, what do you love? I mean, this is going to air in D.C., so people will actually be able to see this.
Well, my mom was born in D.C., so I've spent a lot of time out in those parts. The whole DMV area is just a great little pocket. But yeah, I grew up on the Eastern Shore. I'm a Chestertown, Wharton, Maryland boy, so love Old Bay on my eggs and make sure to keep it that way.
That's awesome, man. I learned to pick crabs like a couple years ago for the first time. I'm from Virginia, Newport News originally.
Okay.
I'm sure you got that down pat.
Oh, brother, yeah, the 4 a.m. on a John boat, dropping crab pots and going to get them at the end of the day. They're gonna do this all day. So yeah, but that was a part of my upbringing for sure.
Should never said that.
Well, congrats to you guys, by the way. You know, one of the things I love about a series is you get to play a character over multiple seasons, multiple episodes, spend a lot of time with these people. And I'm not saying you're method actors and you walk home as your characters, but is there any life perspective shifts that you've taken into your own lives from these people that you've played? Like, do you find it all that you'll be in real life circumstances and things maybe pop in your mind about maybe how your character would think about this, or does it at all shift that at all for you?
I would say, like, when you're finding the character, definitely. When you're trying to explore the character, and yes, it's been 3 years, but like you still are finding out things. I think evolution of character also exists, so it's kind of like you have an idea, maybe you do something in your life and you're like, maybe he would do that, or vice versa. So it's always an evolution of things, I feel like.
Yeah, I would say I learned more of what not to do in certain circumstances from John B.
Yeah.
I have to constantly remind myself that at 30 years old, what I was doing at 17, you know, is probably going to be a better reflection of John B. So I like to go through the scripts and say, okay, like, note to Chase, don't make that decision. Cool.
Yeah,
that's going to be really, you know, that's John B. and that's Chase. So I think it's fun to kind of see that. And then also, you know, you're always going to find your comparisons and your similarities with your character. I think that's the glory of art, is you're always intertwined.
Yeah, absolutely. And what about for you?
Yeah, you know, it's like those lines can start to blur sometimes, you know.
For sure.
Especially like when you're in the thick of production and like you're, again, like you pop up every day and you're doing these lines and you're trying to evoke these emotional responses like as organically as you can. You have to kind of like sit in that mentality for a little bit. And, you know, just like, I guess like the takeaways from like Pope, you know, it definitely like I was telling Chase, like just the whole family thing and like going into a bit of my own roots and like seeing the similarities between like, you know, him, Denmark and the Cross, and me and my own family, like that kind of stuff, like it does like ring true, you know. Even just some of the teenage stuff of it, you know, the friends, the relationships, all that stuff, like really took me back to like being in high school and having those friend groups and having those relationship problems and going through heartbreak and going through love and like, you know, all that stuff.
Being obsessed with guns. No, I'm joking.
Well, I mean, like, everybody has their phase, you know.